to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in the question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts and allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. This all-seeing eye of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and Spotify, of all places. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. With me as always, is our host with the most, the man himself, Winter Trash Monk the Thizzard. How you doing, dude?
I am doing fantastic. Trash Monk the Third, Trash Monk I. That's Trash Monk I. And yep. I'm coming at you in the trash hut with the trash computer, with the trash mic, talking trash nerd with Mike Trash G.
I am trashy today. You know what I'm saying? You know you trashy.
Yeah, why are you trashy today?
I'm trashy because, you got to wear the black lipstick with the red trim. That's the trash look right there.
Are you making like jail chili or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, here I'm making, I'm making top ramen spreads out of Vienna sausages and chicken.
Okay, let's go. You're going to make me gag. Okay. Never mind.
This is what happens when you challenge me. I just get weirder.
My mom, we used to have top ramen in the house, and my mom would put hot dogs in it. And I'm done with it. I am a grown 25-year-old man. I do not need to eat hot dogs with top ramen. I'd rather just not eat.
I'd rather just not eat. Let's escape this moment because I just got some mom memories of saltines and Vienna sausages that I don't want to think about. I don't want to mentally. Again
with the Vienna sausages.
They're kind of the worst. So, escape. I'm pulling the escape hatch. How was your week, man?
Well, it was good. We talked a little bit. What did we? Actually, I don't need to tell that story that I was going to say in the beginning. Okay. It was just me taking vocal lessons, and the song was "I Left My Heart in San Francisco." Nice. And so picture a 14-year-old kid going, "I left my heart in San Francisco."
Aren't they precious?
And my dad going, "I know that song. That's Tony Bennett."
He owes me $10.
You don't know that song.
You don't know that, you child. I'm a man, Dad.
Mm-hmm. And look at me now. Anyways,
whoop whoop whoop.
Yeah, played some Risk of Rain this weekend. That was good.
Yeah.
We did some D&D.
Yep, that was fun.
Yeah, by far the most role playing experience we've had. Found out more about Mike G than I ever wanted to know.
I'm an onion, my friend. Layered and smelly. Yeah.
But that's it. I almost watched Dragged Across Concrete. But I decided to just get 30 days of free Hulu and watch some Family Guy.
That would do it. That would do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man.
Family Guy is a joke now.
Damn. And not the joke you want to hear.
No.
Nope.
They literally, so this is garbage joke here. The joke is, so it's the episode where Brian and Stewie it's like they're ripping off Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Mm.
And they go, she's the heiress, this old lady is the heiress to the fortune of blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you mean her, what's her name? And then they give you this long minute, like, name of this person, okay? They go through a minute going, it's the Goldenheim Schmidt and something, blah, 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 for a minute, just listing her last name. And then Stewie goes, you mean she's the heir of, and then just repeats the same last name for a minute.
That sucks.
And then 30 seconds later, they're in the bathroom, and then they hear like a whole crowd going, "Happy birthday, dear Mrs. Blah, blah, blah," and then they just repeat the whole last name. Like, that is garbage jokes, folks.
Well, I'm not gonna. I don't want to make this the rag on Family Guy Power Hour, but Family Guy has always been notorious for just padding their episodes. Like jokes, jokes, jokes. Here is a 5-minute interlude with Conway Twitty. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's fine if it's like there's a certain way that they used to go about it, but now they're like a caricature of themselves where they're just flapping in the wind. There's nothing really tethering them to anything.
well, that's what
I don't.
Yeah.
It's just a shame. Like, almost every episode I've seen of this season so far has referred to previous Family Guy episodes.
Well, they're going into
so they can't even write. Yeah, they can't even write new material. Then they're just referring to old Family Guy episodes.
Well, we call that the Simpsons paradox. You know what I mean? Where you start
They even have The Simpsons on an episode.
You start going so long, the snake starts to eat its own tail, bro. And that's what happens when the showrunners lose interest and want to do other things. Seth MacFarlane is too busy with with his new sci-fi show, the Orville, to worry about. It's like the worry about Family Guy, not to mention the Nick Cleveland show, which unfortunately didn't make it. Or is this
right.
Are there new episodes of American Dad? I don't follow that anymore.
Yeah, on TBS they picked it up.
Okay, that's good. I kind of like American Dad. That show is petty in a good way. Well, I guess then I can go into my week, which isn't all that crazy. I pretty much I'm still playing Legend of Zelda, which is kicking my butt. I got chased by this thing called a Lionel, and it's this big giant, like, the pictures of the buff pit bulls, like the really ripped pit bulls that you see like on Instagram and stuff.
No, I don't follow pit bulls on Instagram.
I follow pit bulls on Instagram, and they're super swole, and they're pretty much like super swole pit bulls, but with the body, they're like minotaurs, and they're super tough, and it requires.
Like, are you timid? Are you jealous of the pit bull's muscles?
I am intimidated by their stature, but I respect their grace. Is why I follow them. But yeah, no one told me that Zelda requires 1-frame reactions and shit. The game is really actually difficult, and that makes it fun. I was expecting to coast through it, where I'm like trying to get past a part and being stubborn. And
would you say it's the Dark Souls
I'm
of Zelda
trying not
games?
to use that. Trying hard, but in all fairness, I can smell the stench of the rotting corpse of Dark Souls all over this thing. It's just like, I guess Zelda for a new generation, but like I couldn't imagine myself being 10 or 11 trying to play this game and having to get good. Like it's serious business, but it's fun. I'm having a blast playing it, and it's actually it's becoming one of my favorite games of the year. I have to see how strong it ends. I'm going after the Master Sword, everybody. It looks increasingly difficult and really stingy on how to get it. I can't wait. I'm actually went to the movies yesterday and went to go see Pet Sematary, which I will be reviewing later with a certain D&D partner. So I won't say much about that. I'm going to hold that for the review.
Buy it, rent it, or $5 bin.
Buy. And I love me some Pet Sematary, but I'll go into that later. And that's about it. I recorded an episode of MOTN reviews for Aquaman. I'm excited to put that out. God, that movie was interesting. And I got to hang out with family. It was a pretty chill week. I had a chalupa, like a real one, not like the ones from Taco Bell. I had an actual chalupa. That was fun.
Hold on. So there's actual things called chalupas outside of Taco Bell?
There's real chalupas, dude. They're completely not what you expect them to be.
I don't
it's
like
different.
it.
It's weird. It's a chalupa. Mm-hmm. It's delicious, dude. It was fancy. Man. Well, It looks like that our weeks have run their fruition. Let's go into this metric ton of news, shall we?
Let's get to the news. MOTN News 4/15/2019.
Me and Winter are going to have to work together and actually get like a cut or a hard cut where we actually do some kind of crazy news rift. And it's going to have like White Snake on it. It's going to be dope. What you guys know about White Snake?
Shove this down your throat. It's MOTN News.
Get ready to get punched in the throat or in the balls. The news. The news is the Star Wars celebration was this week and last weekend. And there's a ton of Star Wars news.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. So I'm going to call
that money-making Star Wars.
I'm going to call this the Star Wars Mandalorian Money Power Hour is what this is called. It's the Mandalorian Money Makers. So imagine a bunch of Boba Fett's dancing in like a club.
Mm-hmm. With the song Shake Your Money
Hard
Maker playing in the background.
The bass is kicking. And you just see Jaw.
Gotta shake your money maker.
You see Jawas in the back going, Houdini, doing dances and stuff. Getting it. Mm-hmm. So.
Or that song from Return of the Jedi. Yeah,
Winter had that like on repeat at the house, man. Winter had that song on repeat, bro. That song was banging. Oh man, those special editions, dude. Can you believe it? That was a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Those are the only Star Wars.
You've never seen the original ones?
I didn't grow up with.
Oh, they're super hard to find. That's why the old version, the original versions of them. Old.
Keyword old.
Yeah, my dad just like bootlegged them off like TVs. That's the only way I've seen them, like a bad VHS copy. I've never seen them cleaned up or anything because they refused to do it. Because Fox owned those, funny enough. So there's never a chance to remaster them until now.
Right. Oh, you better believe once there's an anniversary, they're going to go, introducing the original Star Wars trilogy with 6 different versions of each movie.
A 12-disc set.
And 12 different audio commentaries. One with Harrison Ford talking about Blade Runner. He thought that he was at Blade Runner.
So they said I was a Rep Lord, but I didn't think I was. Wait.
So I was flying my plane over here. I only hit 2 dogs birds. This time.
I think there were birds. One screamed mom. Couldn't have been a bird. Oh yeah, Han Solo. He's a rogue.
Don't listen to Princess Leia. She lies about me sleeping with her.
Wink. He does a wink into the camera, and it's like an audio pot. It's an audio recording.
Let's say I didn't go to that Temple of Doom.
Nice.
Okay.
The penitent man did pass.
I didn't raid that Lost Ark. Okay.
Yeah, man, we're getting into
Let's
trouble.
get out of here.
So, did we talk about the Disney Plus thing last week? I don't think so. So,
no.
Yeah, so Disney
we
Plus
talked about it a couple
is
weeks
here,
ago.
guys. It's ready to fight you. It's looks amazing. There's a ton of new content spanning across all of their own stuff. So there's going to be Disney stuff, of course. There's going to be old and new content from Star Wars, Disney, Marvel. ESPN's going to have content on it. And it looks like the best thing since sliced bread. There's no commercial interruptions like Hulu. It's going to be 0 commercial interruptions. And the kicker is that it's only $6.49 a month, $70 for a year. I would call this the Netflix killer. Maybe.
Nope.
Maybe.
They would need to expand their audience. Unfortunately, Netflix has such a stranglehold right now.
Go for it.
I know how to take
a swig, my man, of that smooth malt liquor. Coke 45.
That's good audio. Yeah, I mean, if Disney actually started releasing everything that they had under their control onto their app, then this would be a no-brainer. This Disney
Mm-hmm.
Plus would be the new thing. But they still are trying to play fast and loose, it seems like, with their, like, we're
Well,
children friendly here, and then cut to
apparently
a Quentin
they're opening the
Tarantino movie.
Disney Vault, whatever that means, and I would be surprised if Miramax and Buena Vista stuff popped up on this thing. You know what I mean? That's why there's like there's parental safeguards that you can put on your account. So if you only want the kids stuff, you can have it over there, but you can also have True Romance and Kill Bill and all that other stuff. Plus they have 21st Century Fox. So you're probably going to be able to watch the whole Aliens trilogy and Predator and all the stuff that's under Fox's umbrella. And that's a lot of rated R hardcore content that why not put it on a streaming service where it's going to have 101 different things anyway. So, I mean,
I don't know. Netflix is a juggernaut.
Yeah.
We'll say they'll take a chunk out. It might be several years from now that we'll see the problems, but
you're right. Let's see if this thing has legs, right? It may be a gimmick. People may not be adapters.
Let's see if that dog will hunt.
That dog will hunt. That was a joke from last week, I think. It still works though. Still works like a charm. Speaking of things that are in the works, there was new footage for The Mandalorian at the Star Wars Celebration, which is one of their, I believe, Disney Plus shows where it takes. I forget what time it takes place. I think it's between episode 3 and episode 4. So you're going to be seeing a lot of bounty hunters floating around, a lot of Mandalorians, probably teenage Boba Fett would make sense. You know what I mean? That he would be around a teenager around that. Depends on how close to episode 4 they're going to be doing it. You know, so it may just be flat out Boba Fett, you know.
They better not steal my Star Wars movie idea. That's all I'm saying.
But no, keep it secret. Keep it safe, man. Don't tell me. Don't tell the Nerdiverse.
It involves Jar Jar Binks. That's all I'm saying. If they have anything to do with Jar Jar Binks in this, I will flip my lid.
Is it that he's a Sith Lord in disguise?
No, it's a redemption story of him tying with the old canon of the Star Wars universe.
Were you a fan of the Clone Wars, the Star Wars Clone Wars CG TV show?
Never watched it, but I heard good things about it.
Same here. I watched a couple of key episodes that my friends pointed out to try to sell me on the show. It was pretty cool. I like the concepts they were going with, you know, Anakin's apprentice and all that fun stuff. Apparently the show got canceled.
I'm at that ripe age of 25 where it's very hard for me to watch a kid's show, but maybe 10 years from now I would care less what the intended audience is for.
Right. I mean, it just depends. I mean, I'm never too old to give a show a chance, but it's Disney, you know, so there's always like that faux pas of it being, or that stigma of it being, oh, this is not going to be well done, you know, or it's going to be done on the cheap. But apparently Star Wars Clone Wars was pretty good. It had good storylines, plot progression, character arcs. People were upset when it was canceled, but apparently it's back in business. It's coming back to Disney.
Why not?
To
you
the
just
Disney
pay
Plus.
people ham sandwiches to be on the show, and you can keep the show going.
Those are some bomb ham sandwiches, though.
Yeah, like you could just splice in old animation, but keep it together, like
what they did the old Itchy and Scratchy episodes. They just spliced they just kept splicing old episodes together. Oh, that's the worst. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the best and the worst, I want to talk about this new video game made by EA, Jedi: The Fallen Order. Have you seen the trailer for this thing?
I've seen a little bit of it. It makes me want to fallen asleep.
Wow. Okay, here's the thing. Jedi: The Fallen Order is going to be a new third-person story-driven Star Wars story made by Respawn Entertainment, the guys who have done Titanfall, and I believe they did also Apex Legends for EA. And this is supposed to be a solid RPG-ish Star Wars tale that takes place directly after Order 66, which for you Star Wars nerds know that's when the Emperor decided to kill all Jedi. So a Padawan makes his escape and has to find his way out of an Empire-driven galaxy. And it's supposed to be this high-flying AAA adventure story where you play I forget the kid. It's something. His name is something generic like Dakin or Bacon or something like that. Dakin Bacon, and you go through.
Clay Aiken.
Clay Aiken is the Padawan that we all needed. But the thing is, and this is where I get kind of testy about it, is that apparently the game is not going to have any microtransactions. It's not going to have any loot boxes or any kind of after purchase games as a service level attachments to it. It's going to be a clean head to toe story. You buy it, you got it, which is great, right? That's what we want to hear from a one player experience. It's a one player experience, so why would I need to buy cosmetics if no only person that can see it is me? Anyway, but the problem,
Assassin's Creed.
Ugh, I find that stuff very not cool. But anywho, but a representative of EA was like, "Hey guys, you should prove the industry wrong about first party non multiplayer games. You should buy this game in spite to show them that these games still have legs and they have a place in the industry."
Yeah, that's what people like to hear.
Yeah. This is from an EA representative. Hey guys, we're not going to have any loot boxes this time. Isn't that great? And I'm just like, this is the same company that got sued. It made it almost a worldwide issue about loot boxes and Star Wars Battlefront 2. You know what I mean? Now they're asking for us to kiss their butt because they decided not to do something. They decided not to do our problem.
Aren't I good?
Yeah.
Aren't I good?
Aren't I good?
Look what I did.
But the thing is that these are the same guys who cultivated this problem. You know what I mean? Now they want to act like they're the saints of the industry. Like, get out of here, man. That's the actual worst. Don't say anything. Let the game speak for itself. Like the minute this game comes out, you guys stand up front like you just saved the industry with a problem that I'm not going to say that EA created microtransactions. That would be silly. But these guys had a hand.
No, arcades did.
No, the arcades did. Every time you put in a quarter, that was a microtransaction. Exactly.
I am serious.
I am serious radio. But I'm just like,
where's my family?
What was? Oh, we're still on Harrison. Harrison always loses.
That's him in Firestarter or whatever.
He's in Firestarter, bro. Oh no! What did he do in Firestarter?
I think the oxygen's being sucked out.
Okay, yeah, you're going through a transformation, and I love it. So let's see where this goes towards the end of the episode. If you just start going into altered states, grunts and growls.
Yeah, I'm definitely presenting a clear and present danger.
Oh yeah, let's
now.
move on to the next article, shall we? But yeah, I'm not going to have any more any distinguished anger towards Fallen Order. I just that's an idiot stance to take, and I hope the game is good. So, also this week was the trailer for the new Star Wars movie, Episode 9. The Rise of Skywalker. Did you have a chance to look at this trailer, Winta?
Yes.
Your thoughts?
I am excited. Well, I've been one of the people that said that Last Jedi was excellent.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
I think this is going to be good as well. I can already almost guarantee that there's going to be a CGI electric fight between Luke Skywalker and the Emperor Spirit. Well, it's going to be like a lot of
unlimited power.
It's like you cannot handle the Spirit, Luke. And then Darth Vader comes and saves the day again.
No. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of that. I feel two different ways about this thing. Like, watching the trailer, I'm really excited. It looks cool. I hope they close out the series well. I like Rey as a character. I like Rey a lot as a character. I think she's had an interesting arc from beginning to end. Just curious on how they close her out. If they
they're not going to close her out.
You think they're going to leave it open?
You better.
It's the end of the trilogy. It's the end of the trilogy, man.
Yeah, they're not. That's not going to stop a thing.
You don't think like
they're
the next trilogy is going to have nothing to do with them?
Oh, it's going to have something with Daisy Ridley playing the same character, maybe trying to start off a new Jedi temple.
Here's the thing, man.
Going Fast Times at Jedi High.
Fast Times at Jedi High.
Yeah. I ordered a pizza. This is it.
I just don't like how they immediately. Okay, at the end of The Last Jedi, it was pretty much a clean slate, right? It was pretty much forget the Jedi, forget the Sith, forget everything. Let's just start clean.
Like, again, if you go back to George Lucas's influence of the hero's journey, The Last Jedi is essentially taking the hero's journey and going, oh, we're breaking. We're breaking away from the mold.
And so that left me with a sense of excitement because I was like, where could it possibly go from here? It could go anywhere. You know what I mean? It can literally spiral off into 101 different things, and they all sound good as long as it's new. But from what I'm seeing is that we're getting the total back down from all that will that was pushed into The Last Jedi. It was like, oh no, the fans got mad because we did something different. What do we do? Oh, they were mad that Luke Skywalker died. Call the next one Rise of the Skywalker. Oh man, Snoke got killed. They got super upset. What do? We bring back the Emperor in the trailer. You know what I mean? It's like it should be called Rise of the Hypocrites, man. It's like, how do you have a movie that called The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, meaning that this is the final one, and then Rise of the Skywalker? Like it's the biggest back down ever. And it's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, I'm excited to see how they actually do it and not make this the biggest remember berries, nostalgic trip of all time. Because that's what they know makes money, keeps fans happy. 1,000 years Luke Skywalker, you know what I mean? 100 years Jedi. What do they know? Oh yeah, the Millennium Falcon's here yet again. It's like they're so afraid to do anything new. When they try to do stuff new, they get, the fans revolt. So I'm split in half with this movie right now. You know what I mean? I don't know. You're kind of quiet. What's going on? What are you thinking? What's going on in that head of yours?
I'm going, I'm interested, first of all, do we actually think that Luke Skywalker is going to be done with the franchise?
Hell no.
Okay.
No one's ever really gone.
So,
no one's
exactly.
ever really gone. No one's
so
ever
if we
really
think that
gone.
he's going to stay, I bet dollars to donuts, folks, that Daisy Ridley will be there, and she will either play someone who's older, or like an older, her older character, or it's going to take place like 10 years in the future.
Right.
I don't know where they could go next, to be honest with you. I mean, they've already played the card of, well, this is a part of the Empire that, like, they already played the faction of the Empire that's still around.
The First Order.
Yeah.
The First Order.
I think what would be interesting is, like, I believe in The Last Jedi, they started toying with the idea of, well, there's arms dealers that are selling to both sides. So who's really the enemy here? Or something like that. It was something crazy like that. It would be interesting to have, like, people that look like the rebels now become the enemy.
Yeah, that's actually interesting, but they're not gonna think about it too hard because
they just steal from Marvel Civil War, and there you go.
Yeah. Well, I was having a conversation with someone a couple of days ago, and they were saying for a movie to make $1 billion, it has to cater to everyone, right? It can't be too smart, it can't be too dumb, it can't be too specific, it can't be too macro. It has to cater to all audiences. but at the same time, it'll cater to no one because it's so open and just everything, you know. So my dumb idea of what's going to happen, and I hope this isn't the case, but this is my idea, an idea that's kind of going around the internet right now, is that the Jedi is going to end with Rey, but she's going to start a new temple, restart Force practitioners, but going forward, call them Skywalkers. and she's going to be a Skywalker, and he's going to be a Skywalker, and Oprah's going to come out. You're all Skywalkers now. We're all Skywalkers now. Forever, 1,000 years, Skywalkers. There are no Jedis anymore, just Skywalkers. It's stupid.
It is stupid.
But it's probably what's going to happen. And the Sith are not going to be called the Sith anymore. They're going to be called the
Republicans,
the Wrens. Oh. They're going to be called the Wrens, and Kylo's going to be the Lord of the Kylo Wrens.
No, that guy, he's going to be done with the series. They can't have the same bad guy every trilogy.
Well, you know what's going to happen? He's going to have a cathartic hero turn, and then he's going to die. Just like
I'm going to change my mind.
I'm going to be Ben Solo for 5 minutes again, and then I'm going to explode in a volcano.
It's like Daisy's going to be like, you're dying, Kylo. It's like, the name is Ben.
Yeah. Like, Gollum.
Cue the music. Bong.
And she tears up because he's the last. He's the last of the true Skywalkers, the true Skywalker bloodline. But she's going to carry on the name, and her new temple is going to be called the Skywalkers.
Yeah. We're going to do it differently.
We're going to start over, in homage of the greatest Jedi of all.
And then cut to Luke talking Skywalker. Heads. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever
was. This is not my beautiful Jedi.
Yes. Grow some cojones, J.J. Abrams, and play some talking heads at the end of this.
If they did that, people would just fart and leave.
This is not my beautiful wife. Let the days go by.
This is not my beautiful Sith. So, and with this
is no disco. This GBGB. I ain't a fooling around. Okay. I'm about to go nuts.
Yeah, you're losing it, dude. Okay. Last little bit of Star Wars news is that apparently Star Wars, after Episode 9, Star Wars is going to take a little bit of a break. Can you imagine? Star Wars is going to take a little bit of a break. They're going to slow things down for a little while, you know.
Cool. So the text, read between they said movies. So the TV shows are still going on.
The TV shows are rocking on. Toys, T-shirts.
Yes.
That's
all of that is going to be happening still.
Yeah, it's rocking on.
Yeah.
Because money needs to be made. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
The blood debt must be paid. So
it's like here's your synthetic drugs until we can give you 3 new drugs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's kind of the worst because I've always felt Star Wars is better in small doses. Like you have to missing Star Wars and getting Star Wars it's the driving force for me of Star Wars. It's like, man, I haven't seen Star Wars in 10 years. They're coming back. Star Wars is coming back.
A good example.
You know, that's hype.
I totally agree. That it needs to be small doses. I would say superhero movies should be like that as well. But
I don't know. It's because growing up, that's how Star Wars has always been. You know, It's always been this crazy gaps in between movies, but that makes you miss it. And then when you hear that music and you hear the sound effects, it all comes whooshing back. You know, but if I got Star Wars every year, I'm just like, hey, okay, we're in space still. They're not changing the formula because they're scared to. So what is it going to be? It's going to be Jedis, or it's going to be bounty hunters, or it's going to be rebels. They can't defer out of those 3.
Going to be bounty, rebel, Jedi, Sith.
It's going to rebel Sith. It's going to be Jed bodies. Jed bodies.
It's going to be a Jabba the Hutt one-shot story.
It's going to be a Jedi of a Rancor. It's going to be a Rancor, but it's going to be a Jedi. He's going to have a giant lightsaber. And he's going to growl with a little robe on.
To the red car, like running in the field, like, Mom always told me that I should have a smile on my face.
I don't know, but it's getting crazy out there. You see him put on the hood. You see like Yoda riding the rain car Jedi, and they're fighting off 50 Sith for some reason.
So this is all like, if they ever made a Kingdom Hearts movie,
oh my goodness,
there's a possibility of a scene of Magneto or like fighting Jack Sparrow, and then a lightsaber just goes through Jack Sparrow's chest, and he gets cut in half, and it's Kylo Ren.
I just want there to be a scene where Jack Sparrow starts coughing.
Blood splatters on Daffy Duck's face.
No,
or not Daffy.
I want there to be
Donald
the
Duck.
scene where Jack Sparrow is fighting Kylo Ren on the top of the freaking Flying Dutchman, and he starts coughing, and a xenomorph explodes out of Johnny Depp's chest and starts screaming, "Hello, my baby! Hello, my darling!"
It's a pirate morph! It's a pirate morph!
It has like a little hat, and it is drunk, so it's kind of swerving everywhere. You know what I mean? And it can sword fight.
These are very easy to kill, actually.
Yeah. You just throw it into the ocean. Just let it fall in the ocean.
No, they can breathe.
No,
I don't know.
No.
Let us move on.
Xenomorphs. Every movie on Earth would be better with a xenomorph, dude.
Yeah.
Every movie.
Saving Private Ryan.
My Fair Lady. Philadelphia. Ooh.
I didn't go
went
there. You are a despicable human being.
That's rough. Would have had a happier ending.
Like, it turns out he didn't have...
Are you taking it further? No?
No. Alicia Vikander returning for Tomb Raider sequel with new writer.
Who cares? It's on the docket. Who cares? The movie wasn't great. Why is it getting a sequel?
No. But they're still going to make it.
They're still going to make it. You know why? Because money and intellectual properties can't die on the vine. So they have to.
Women in short sell.
Wow. I didn't say that. They do.
I didn't say it. I sang it, but I did not say it.
So you can't put him in a court of law.
Looks like we made it.
You can't hold him against him in a court of law.
They're the reason Angelina Jolie showed side boob in the first one. Okay.
2000s. There was no choice. No choice in that matter.
Okay.
The DC Universe's Titans.
Don't know what you're saying.
It's the implication, huh? The DC Universe Titans lands the guy from Game of Thrones to play Bruce Wayne in their show. The reason I'm bringing this up, because it's not really a big news story. We don't even have him in costume yet. I just think it's fascinating that the CW has been running this Arrowverse thing for almost 10 years now. It's been a while, right? It's been a very long time. And even with Smallville and their earlier DC stuff, they've never been able to get Bruce Wayne. They've never been able to get Batman. They barely got Superman, you know what I mean, on the CW stuff. There's always been this bat embargo. It's like, can't have Batman, can't have Joker. For some reason, even though it's their property and it's their channel, I never got that. Warner Brothers.
Well, I like, if to play their side for a bit, it's very hard to have a stakes-driven superhero show if you have Superman or Batman show up every
I don't like
time.
that as an excuse, man. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. Because
okay, well, you can shove it.
Dang, I guess I have to now. Hold up.
I'm just repeating what someone on YouTube told me. What
you can't. There's ways to write Superman where he has stakes and things happen, and he just can't punch his way out of a situation. Whereas you can have Batman there and him just not solve the problem. There's ways to write these characters to make them interesting and put them in peril, just because it's Superman.
Absolutely, but it becomes a lot more difficult because how many Deaths of Superman comics have we read?
Superman's died a few times.
Or yeah. And he's still around.
Because he sells. It's comics, man. No one stays there. No one's ever really gone.
Exactly. Like you've talked about how DC has like a lot of characters that play like gods.
Yeah.
I think you said that before.
Yeah, they're pretty much god allegories. Mostly.
Yeah, and there's actually, I can't remember what the term is, but in stories, there's build up. Your protagonist can't get out of it, and then magically a god appears.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Ex Machina.
There's this. Yeah, there you go. And now I'm gonna sound like a Zack Snyder film, but Superman's Deus Ex Machina.
And this has been the Superman argument for so long, and that he is the problem solver. That if Superman's there, then there's really no reason to have anyone else there because it's Superman.
Well, not just a problem solver, just the problem has disappeared.
And that's not always the case. There's so many good Superman stories where he is in trouble and he has to solve a problem, and he has to, just the very good writing happens. So Superman being there is not always the answer to a problem, and making him a villain is not always the answer to a problem. You can have a very personal, emotional story about Clark Kent and Superman, and it still be good, and him not just punch the problem and it goes away, And that's what the misconception about the character is that's why people think he's boring, because he's too powerful. But you know what I mean? There's people love stories about the Silver Surfer or Galactus or even Thanos, these reality bending villains and heroes that get well written stories. But Superman, no, he's too cookie cutter. He's too by the book. I think Superman gets a bad rap in that sense, to where he's just a farm boy from Kansas who has these extraordinary powers, who wants to do good in the world. Necessarily doesn't make him milquetoast or a Mary Sue. There's plenty of ways to write the character and advertise the character as being a team member, as being a very humanized character, as well as being, an insanely powerful being. I don't know. I tend to stand up for, I'm not really a big Superman fan. I just like standing up for that character when that argument's made. It's like, how do you have a compelling story with actual stakes of Superman's there? It's like easy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we almost, sorry to cut you short there.
No worries, man. I said what I needed to say.
Yeah, we fell into it's not a bleach hole, but
it's a super bleached hole.
But it's a super hole.
It's a super hole.
Yeah, there's many holes in the Nerdiverse.
Yeah, man. You ever seen those tiptograph things where it's like someone with like 100 eyes, but in one eye socket? It's super gross. Freaks me out. I don't like it. Yeah. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of it. Speaking of scientific weirdo things, did you see that picture of the black hole? They actually took a picture of a real one.
Yes. But that's more importantly, did you see the picture of the scientist that discovered it?
No, what did he look like?
She looked pretty scientific. Awesome.
Sweet. Was she like Amy Farrah Fowler?
I don't know if that name means, but okay, if she's listening right now, I just wanted to know that I am available. And I fill out one of the things that she discovered. I am black, but I'm not a hole. So
see, that's the pickup line. I'm learning more about Winter than I ever knew. Oh, no.
So if you ever wanted to date a black guy that knows how to play a banjo,
Winter's your man. He'll show you the way. He'll show you the way. But no, man, science is beautiful. We finally got to see a picture of a black hole. It's awesome. Now we just got to fly into it and see what cracks off. Just do it. Just fly into it. I would be that guy. Like, I ain't got nothing much going.
Mike, you have the podcast.
I'll take the podcast with me.
No, that's not how it works.
It works that way. I will retrofit the podcast to last forever, because I'll take the podcast into the infinite past where it doesn't exist, but now it exists because we're there. And it's going to create a crazy time loop that literally creates a nerdiverse. You guys will come with me, right, listeners, into the black hole and see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna do some Matthew McConaughey science. They're gonna show up in the other part of the universe.
I don't know what's out there, but it better be a Lincoln.
It better be a Lincoln, and it better have malt liquor in it.
I just think we should all hold hands and drown ourselves in an ocean, but make sure we buy a Lincoln first.
Make sure we drive that Lincoln into the ocean.
Get high APR rating.
I hate those commercials.
Yeah, make sure you get a high loan and then you die in the ocean.
You die in the ocean. You ain't got to pay the loan.
Remember to watch the beach bum before you die. Okay.
You can't pay off the loan if you died in the ocean.
Exactly.
Stupid. All right, let's close out the show with this PlayStation 5 news, man. PlayStation 5 is actually becoming more tangible as the days go on. I know you're not much of a console guy, Winter, but there are some buzzwords that are circling around the PS5 that may tickle thine fancy. You know what I mean? And this is a term that's usually thrown around by people who have a computer, a PC rather, a gaming PC. Is that one of the big things about the PS5 is that it's going to have a built-in solid-state hard drive. So they're talking about this thing's going to be cooking.
Station! PS5!
Station! It's the same.
Last of Us 2!
I know, right?
Play Station! Nathan Drake Chronicles!
It's a miracle! Watch Flash Gordon, everybody. Watch Flash Gordon. Just do it.
If you have not seen Flash Gordon, folks, that joke was not for you.
Not for you, and we're sorry. I'm sorry. But the PlayStation 5 is going to have a solid-state hard drive. That means it's going to have extremely fast loading speeds. It's boasting 8K graphics. I don't even know what the hell that means. It's just that things going to be rendering a lot faster. There's going to be 0.5 loading times, so it's just going to go. Of course, it's going to be backwards compatible with the PS4, which is a big thing. It's a big thing for a lot of people. They're really putting their focus into VR. I was actually reading that Sony bought a copyright or trademarked a new invention where you can actually have VR capability in your prescription glasses. That's interesting. So you don't have to wear the giant RoboCop visor when playing VR. You can just put on your Lokes, and next thing you know, you're in the world of survival horror, guys. PS5, get hype. Good. I, for one, I try not to be a first adapter to new hardware because usually first generation hardware is garbage and it's the easiest stuff to break and overheat and have all types of issues. But it just really depends on the lineup that they announce. If they're like God of War 2 or Gran Turismo 8 or something like that, I'm like, ooh, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, like, ooh, Marvel vs. Capcom 4, oh. But I've never been sold on hardware. I'm sold on the games that come on the hardware. So if they have some really crazy games, and apparently the ease into PS5 is going to be very gentle. So a lot of the games that are premiering, like Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, these are games that are going to be on the PS4 and probably on the PS5 as well, just at a higher rendering speed, better graphics, no loading times, just quality of life things that the PS4 can't handle. You know what I mean? So I'm, for one, excited to see what kind of games are exclusive for the PS5 and if they're worth buying a console for, because, I don't know.
Station!
It's a miracle!
Better than Xbox!
Because I'm curious to how Xbox is going to come back for this generation, because they sucked last generation.
Master Chief Collection, folks. It's pretty much, they're pretty much turning their Xbox into a PC. Or like I predict what they're trying to do is what cloud gaming or whatever does, where like you can click a button on your computer and you can seamlessly transition to your TV from your Xbox and play the same game. That's what I'm predicting, folks. I could be wrong.
I just want it to be good games,
Yeah.
man. Give me like Jade Empire 2 or something
that's
cool.
not gonna
You know what I mean?
happen.
Like,
Well,
it's not. That's why I'm not going to buy one, dude. I didn't buy one last console generation because it didn't have good games. And if they continue to have this crappy output of exclusives,
I
then I'm
flipped
sorry,
sides, so I have no
Microsoft
bone
fans.
in the console wars anymore.
I know this dog ain't gonna hunt. I know, but it hunts for me because I'm still a console.
And I might buy a Switch,
plebeian.
But we'll see.
Switches are fun. I'm not gonna lie, the Switch has been pretty fun, nice and cheap. It's a nice cheap dinner. So I'm excited for the PS5. I'm curious to see what the next console universe is going to look like. I'm not, I don't think anything has made the jump from like 16-bit to 64 since the 64. Or maybe like the Dreamcast was a very big graphical leap. You know what I mean? PS1 to PS2 was pretty gradual. PS2 to PS3 was pretty gradual. But like N64 or maybe like GameCube was a big graphical leap.
Mm-hmm.
Games don't make graphical leaps anymore. It's all because we're constantly adding new graphics cards and the bleeding edge is pushed up much faster that we're not going to see graphical leaps like that anymore. Where now a graphical leap would have to be damn near photorealism, wouldn't you say?
It would. I think. Yeah, I mean that's a hard sell because you have to be tricking the human eye, and the human eye is prone to not be tricked in these things. Like
right, it's very good at not being tricked. It automatically spots and tells the brain, "Oh, that's fake."
Yeah, but I think the realm is going to be seamless transition from computer to your TV to your phone. That's where the innovation's going to be coming. Like they've done, the graphics are going to be stale. Like they're going to start fighting over like, look, I can do this in 1 megapixel sort of thing, or 1 pixel, or one like I can get 1 FPS more out of this. That's going to be the conversation for a bit. Meanwhile, in the back end, they're going to be talking about like, well, we can get faster loading times here if we just convert everything to whatever. There's something past SSD now that I can't remember.
Yeah. And we were talking about last episode with the new streaming technology,
right?
Where you may not.
And we're not even talking about virtual reality yet.
Yeah, VR. Like PlayStation has a heavy focus on VR and augmented reality. That's what they're saying, at least in the article. The Verge article where they're like, yeah, we're not going to go into any specifics on the PSVR right now, but just trust and understand that we have a lot of invested time in the VR. So I think PSVR is going to rival whatever the Oculus or the Vive is going to be doing for the next 5-10 years. And we're going to see some crazy innovations on Sony's side in regards to that type of media, just across the board. Like I have a buddy who doesn't really even play VR games. He just likes watching VR TV. He watches like VR basketball games and watches VR cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And let's leave it at those two things. Those are the only two things of VR that he watches.
Yeah, that's all he watches. That's all I can imagine him watching. What are you looking forward to, man?
Well, I'm looking forward to watching the Sharks game tonight. My mom messaged me that the Golden Knights already scored once, and so now I am depressed. But we will.
Winter's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am looking forward to the rest of the week being good. I'm looking forward to maybe beating Zelda. I'm going to try to go hard on it and see if I can play it. I'm looking forward to editing content for the week so I can put out more stuff. I'm working on a big project that's going to be starting next month that I'm really working hard to get ready for you guys. So look forward to that. And I will ask Winter, do you have any passing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, check me out on social media under Trash Monk the Third, Trash Monk III. I'll be there's apparently audio drama coming out this summer that I've written. It's going to be part of an anthology series, so think of
Yeah.
Twilight Zone only for dystopian future stuff. It's under Quirky Voices that you can check out. That's the title. And this is going to be the first script that I've had produced and published and put on the internet. So exciting
That's
stuff.
what's up, man.
Yeah.
Proud of you, man. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and always you can follow our channel, Masters of the Nerdiverse, on Twitter, which is at mnerdiverse, where you can find all of our content, our polls of the day, our funny little quips and gifs, and all the cool stuff that you do on social media. You can also find this channel on Apple Podcasts, which I please ask that you give us a rating, 0 to 5. I would take anything you give us. I just want to hear what you think about the show. Also, you can leave a comment on any of our podcast distributors. You can subscribe to them as well. And if you like this episode, leave it a like. Every like is extremely appreciated on our end. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G.
And I've been your other host, Winter.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.